Hi, good evening. This is Ayana Pevic-Brown, and I am going to present to you my paper about the short and long-term effects of prenatal marijuana use. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope you enjoy. As I said, the title of this presentation is the short and long-term effects of prenatal marijuana exposure. This presentation will consider some of the effects of prenatal marijuana exposure, or PME, on neonates, children, adolescents, and young adults. First, we're going to look at some statistically significant effects of PME on the newborn, toddler, and adolescent. Starting in the 14th week of development, the human embryonic brain has endocannabinoid receptors, which become more plentiful and densely concentrated as the embryo grows. This suggests that endogenous cannabinoids play an important role in normal brain growth and function. If the receptors are present, then exogenous cannabinoids can attach to them also. Exogenous cannabinoids, inhaled or ingested by the mother, cross the placenta and enter the embryo. They may disrupt normal brain development, neurotransmitter systems, and neuronal proliferation, migration, and differentiation. Goldschmidt, Richardson, Larkby, and Day, 2016. Prenatal marijuana exposure has some negative consequences for newborns, though agreement among studies is slim. Nevertheless, data suggests that newborns with PME are more likely to be low birth weight, or LBW. Low birth weight, weighing less than 2,500 grams at birth, has its own set of risks, as you can see. As little as weekly maternal marijuana use is associated with increased risk of LBW compared to infants whose mothers did not use marijuana prenatally. ACOG 2017, page E207. In addition, prenatal marijuana exposure increases the newborn's chances of admittance to the NICU for intensive care. The neonatal intensive care unit is associated with the highest costs in healthcare. Frequent use of marijuana during the first and second trimesters increases the concentration of THC crossing the placenta. THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol, is slower to metabolize in heavy users compared to light users, allowing this lipophilic substance to linger in the body for an extended period. ACOG 2017, page E206. The Toddler Behavior Checklist, or TBC, was used to define and measure behavior in 3-year-olds. 3-year-olds exposed to marijuana in utero were significantly more likely to display negative behavior, such as physical aggression, and immature behavior, such as wetting and throwing objects, compared to children without PME. For children with PME, TBC scores were significantly higher in all subscales compared to those without PME. Children with PME are more likely to start using marijuana before the age of 15. Early age of onset of marijuana use, or EAOM, was found to be related to PME, where gender, race, fetal alcohol exposure, and maternal substance use at age 3 were not. Therefore, PME is a significant predictor of EAOM. And why does this matter? Because cannabis is bad for young brains. The adolescent brain is particularly vulnerable to the effects of marijuana. Cannabis exposure during adolescence disrupts normal brain development, resulting in abnormal formation of neuronal pathways and synaptic connections. These changes have a negative impact on memory, procedural learning, behavior, decision making, and emotional reactions. The long-term effects of PME were measured at age 22. 4 factors were used to determine the negative adult role attainment associated with PME: arrests, work or military status, years of education, and parenthood outside of marriage. Scores in all 4 categories were higher for those with PME than those without. Young adults with PME were less likely at age 22 to have 12 or more years of education and less likely to be employed or in the military. PME also increases the chances of early age onset of marijuana use, which is associated with a higher incidence of parenthood outside of marriage and an increased chance of being arrested compared to 22-year-olds without PME and without EAOM. Legalization and increasing social acceptance have led to higher rates of marijuana use. As marijuana use rises, the value of conclusive evidence of the effects of PME cannot be overstated. One reason marijuana use is increasing is the ongoing trend towards legalization at the state level. Though illegal at the federal level, 30 states currently have legalized medicinal or recreational marijuana. Jarlinski et al., 2017, page E706. This number is likely to grow in the coming years. Pregnant women may use marijuana only instead of alcohol or tobacco because it is perceived as less harmful, Jarlinski et al., 2017, and less expensive than tobacco, ACOG, 2017. Women reporting marijuana use in the last 30 days was correlated with a lower perception of harmful effects associated with daily use. Compared to 2005, rates of pregnant women in 2015 reporting perception of no risk of harm from regular marijuana use rose more than non-pregnant women reporting perception of no risk. Jarlinski et al., 2017. Currently, the evidence regarding the effects of prenatal marijuana exposure could be considered conflicting or inconclusive for many neonatal outcomes. One challenge for researchers is that studies use different methods, variables, and standards of measurement. Some women may find the lack of consistent and convincing evidence against marijuana use while pregnant to be proof that marijuana has minimal or no harmful consequences for themselves or their babies. In conclusion, further research is necessary. Women and their children will benefit from expanding knowledge of prenatal exogenous cannabis exposure and its effects on neonatal, childhood, adolescent, and young adult development. That's it for my presentation. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me at my Frontier email address. Thank you so much.